What's up, everybody? We are at Blade Show 2024 with Vance at the Benchmade booth.
What's going on?
And we're going to talk about some cool knives. Party. So first thing on the table I'm seeing looks like a bushcrafter.
Yeah, the 162 bushcrafter was a really popular knife in our line for quite some time. Shane Seibert design. We wanted to update it and be truer to Shane's actual custom. So he has a line of, he calls it his Cascadia model. And so this upgrade of the bushcrafter is truer to Shane's Cascadia customs, which are really difficult to get a hold of.
Yeah. And
So-
even if you can find them, they're thousands of dollars. And that's
So-
not the kind of knife you want to go beat on in the woods.
Exactly. So we have two different sizes and two different colorways and material options. So the black one is CPM True Wear, super tough steel.
Great edge holding too.
Yeah, carbon fiber to cut a little bit of weight. Big handle, so it really fills the hand. Again, for heavy use out in the field, has good ergonomics. Titanium tubes to hold those handles on, and then for a color pop, we've got that crimson G10 layer.
That's nice. And I love that you moved the sharpened section for ferro rods up here, so that way you're not pressing against a blade, an edge with your thumb. A nice safety point as well.
Yeah, and so some updated styling. We have the milled fuller, which again is truer to Shane's original customs. Classic drop point blade. The True Wear versions in the carbon fiber come with a injection molded sheath that's modular.
Okay, tell me about that modularity.
So there's a lot going on with the sheath. It has a lock mechanism that's really intuitive. You just push down with your thumb on that, it releases it. The modularity, it's set up in that configuration for kind of a drop carry off a belt. But the ferro rod holder, the drop holder, all that stuff is removable. You can change it to scout carry. You can remove all of the features and just have it for pack carry. And then in the whole spacing patterns allow for a lot of the standard industry clip.
So if you're running a tech lock or soft loops or whatever, it can all fit here.
So it gives a lot more options to the user, and high density material, glass fill, structural materials, very durable.
Yeah. That's got some nice rigidity to it. And I assume we have a drainage hole out the bottom here. Yep, right there. So you're not going to rust your crew wear if you're out in the rain.
And then the ODG10 versions and S30V, more of a classical look, so they come with leather sheaths.
Okay, so I remember once I was on a hike a long time ago and I met a dude on the top of the mountains in Utah who had a Benchmade bushcrafter on him. And he's like, I just wish it was just a little bit smaller. And I kind of wish I could go find that guy. Dude, I found it. Mini bushcrafter, S30V, just like his was all that years ago. Nice G10 handle. Happy times for that guy.
Yeah, the titanium tubes, so you don't have to worry about rusting. It also cuts a little bit of weight and makes it super durable.
Man, and that G10, I'm telling you, Shane knows how to design a handle. Very nice. Just wants to go to work.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the bushcrafter lineup. And then I've seen these, and I'm really excited about them. Tell me about the 710.
So this year is the 25th anniversary of the Axis Lock, and the Axis Lock debuted on the 710. And so we've been having fun with that with a number of different models. And this is going to be an inline production version. So we did a gold version, we did a limited edition, and this is the 710 FE-24. And so this will be in the line for a bit. Features a flat earth PVD blade in S90V, milled aluminum handles with some of that FDE accent colors, clip and pivot ring.
Is this aluminum raw, or does it have like a clear anodize?
It's anodized, yeah.
Okay.
That seals it, gives it that consistent color, protects it. And again, we took a cue. You know, Bill McHenry was a bit of a tinkerer. He liked to rebuild old Indian motorcycles as well as old watches. So we got inspired by that and looked for details on really intricate machined parts, especially in the watch. So some of those stylings, you see like the milling in the release for the axis, the milling in the handles, are like a macro version of like micro detailing you'd see on like some high-end watches.
Yeah, I imagine that takes a good amount of time on the machine, though.
Yeah. And then the 710, you know, with it being the 25th anniversary of the Axis lock, we wanted to like, what's the next variant of that look like? And so,
I was gonna say, on most Axis locks, we just see, I already see quite a difference here. This looks like a bigger bar, and it has that slant you were talking about.
Yeah.
Super easy to grab.
The other thing is it doesn't have standard Omega springs.
Really?
So the typical Omega spring is a wire, and it's shaped with an Omega, and that's what gives it that makes the Axis bar run. This, it's more like a leaf spring. So there's still kind of an Omega shape, but instead of it being a thin wire, it's a flat spring. So the spring life is greatly improved. The other thing is, instead of having to mill out a pocket on the inside of the handle to accommodate that Omega spring, springs are embedded in the liner, and cut out the liner. So you don't have to, it allows us to put in a much bigger spring, which again gives you spring life, extended spring life. So you get all the smooth action you expect out of Axis, but it'll keep running forever.
Yeah, but like you feel it. It has a lot of upgrades, but to me, that's an Axis lock. That's that old McHenry Williams patent. Like,
Right.
Oh, it's great. I love it. This is such a cool knife.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I want to talk some more about the Necron. We saw this one at SHOT Show, but like as I've seen people, like some of the guys around the office have picked these up. These are really good flippers. So you're probably a better flipper than I am, and I'm terrified of the Select Edge. So tell me some more about this.
Yeah. Valley songs are part of our heritage, and we wanted to come out with something new that was very different for Benchmade. It also had a linkage back to those original Valley songs. And so the Necron 99, unlike a traditional Benchmade Valley, they're latchless. We have the handle extensions. A lot of the older style Valley songs, it was all about blade to handle ratio. Biggest blade and the smallest handle, because it was more about concealed carry kind of a mindset. Well, these are designed more for flipping and the enthusiasts. And so a lot of the modern Valleys, they have the longer handles, but they're user removable. So if you, like me, prefer the shorter handles, I can remove those extensions. But if you like to do all the aerials with flips, some of those tricks, the extensions really help out.
Party!
So
I wouldn't dare try that with a live edge.
So there's things that we did to make it a nod to the past. So the liners have the same skeleton pattern in them of the original Valley song. So if you look in there, you can kind of see that. That helps with weight distribution, but also has that aesthetic of the old Valleys. The scimitar blade, this style of scimitar blade we've never done in production, but it was actually Jody Sampson's favorite blade.
Really? I thought he was a Weehawk guy.
So the thing is he developed the Weehawk. He had a boot knife that Pacific Cutlery made, called that blade shape the Weehawk. That became like the primary blade style for Benchmade Valley songs. And the name for that Weehawk came from a movie in the 70s. And that character, the counter character in that movie was Necron 99.
Oh, okay. I didn't get the reference you told me in January.
So
I gotta watch this movie now.
But the thing, even with the name, that it's a nod to the old days and the Jody Sampson era of custom valleys. Some of the things we've done with the S30V blades, that high scimitar grind, we did Select Edge, super fine edge, very sharp.
Terrifyingly sharp.
These are, designed for flippers, but they will bite you if you're not.
As a knife ought to.
Yeah.
I mean, these are cutting tools, are they not?
Be cutting tools, for sure. Ground spines, so that as you're flipping it and the spine is hitting the back of your hand or fingers, that aids the comfort. 3 different colors of G10. You have the BK01 with the Battle Wash S30V blade and the deep red G10,
Mm-hmm.
and then the JG10 on the satin
Okay.
99. That one I like because it allows you to kind of see the skeleton pattern through.
Mm-hmm.
And then these are pretty light, so you know, in old Benchmade valleys, stainless handles, or even going back earlier times with the brass, super heavy. And then the 42 came out in titanium. Everybody was used to the heavy handles, didn't like the titanium. And then everybody got used to titanium. And then that really kind of opened things up to all of the real tricks people are doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Then we came out with the Morpho, the G10 titanium liners. People love that knife, but the biggest criticism we got off that was that it was too light. And so where we wanted to be with this is to create balance, to be close to the Morpho, but able to add weight if people want it. Not as heavy as the old brass handles, but get it to be more even in the realm of a 42 or even the 62 family. So these come with tungsten discs, tungsten super dense.
I believe it's the densest non-radioactive element.
And so it allows you to really add weight if you want. So you can add up to a full ounce to the handles. Because each of those discs are 1/16 of an ounce. We can add up to 16 of them.
So you basically can add the weight of a bug out into this handle.
And it drastically changes flipping dynamics. And so it's totally up to how you like to flip. A lot of people just, the majority of people are going to take it as is. Some people want to add some weight. And also there's a dampener in there. It sounds goofy, but I actually prefer the weights without the dampener because it gives it that kind of clacky sound of the old valleys that were kind of loose, and the handles had a lot of slop, but that clacking noise you'd get when you're flipping. For me, I love that sound. So that's how I prefer to carry. And
well, you've been at Benchmade since you were making those old ones, yeah?
Yeah,
So that must be nostalgia.
exactly.
I guess to me, it's like the sound of the lunch lady's spatula, like that sort of thing.
And then the last thing I'd point out, since they are latchless, it's important to be able to distinguish between the safe and the bite handle. And so we have the textured milling up here for grip, but on the safe handle, there's these milled diamonds like we talked about. And that way, without looking at it, you have a tactile reference on which is the safe handle, so that you're not accidentally grabbing and flipping the wrong handle and biting his fingers.
Man, well, you guys have really pulled out all the stops for this. And I'm hoping we're going to see some more battle songs in the future, because that's the Benchmade way. That's the butterfly, just harkening back. And I remember I watched some video on Benchmade's website about Les Diasis and his story, and how the battle song is sort of a reference to his Filipino heritage.
That's right.
And it's just such an inspiring thing. It makes me want to carry one. Yeah, but this is exciting. Y'all have a lot of fun stuff this year.
Yeah. It's been a great year. It's fun products, and we're excited to get these out there and get feedback. So,
Okay. We're excited to see what you got next year, too.
cool.
Are you going to have this much stuff next year, too?
That's the plan.
Man, keep it up with Benchmade's hard. All right, well, thank you for your time, Vance.
Absolutely.
Have a great show.
Yeah, you too.